Before ADRA, there was SAWS, or Seventh-day Adventist World Services, and SAWS was basically a relief organization. They gave away things to people in disasters and people who were poor, etc., along with almost every other aid agency in the world at that time. And it was only around 20 years ago that the philosophy of aid began to change. And that was that we had to look at the needs of people and help them to stand on their own feet instead of just giving them stuff.
There was a gentle giant by the name of John Howard who had a vision. That vision was to attempt to help the needy all around the world.
While serving in the Congo, the nuns in the Catholic Church would usually invite me to eat when we were in a village and they were there. And I noticed that they had food from CEDA, the Canadian International Development Agency. It was at that moment that in my mind I said, I'm going to make sure when we get back to Canada we'll see that we can do something as an Adventist church for the people as the Catholics were doing.
Together with Elder Jim Wilson, who was then the president of the Alberta Conference, they began to envision a program of liaisoning with government and of establishing connections around the world so that Canadians could give and that money would flow to the needy around the world.
And the project started coming, and I noticed that many of the agencies were getting funding from the federal government. I bought a ticket, went to Ottawa, and the first person I met was working in CEDA, the Canadian International Development Agency.
He went with a proposal in hand and he came home with $90,000 in his pocket for a project. And that was sort of the initial startup, and once that was established, they did project by project type of funding in different countries, and then we went on to, when I came to work for ADRA, we were just breaking ground with working on 1-year blocks of funding, and we then went on to get 2-year and 3-year and 5-year, and it just sort of progressed from there.
The Seventh-day Adventist Church has had this concern for less fortunate people from its very beginnings. And ADRA, in one form or another, has always been part of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. This was formalized into SAWS, the Seventh-day Adventist World Services, eventually reorganized in 1983, 1984 into ADRA to recognize the professional expertise that was being brought to the table.
The name SAWS, Seventh-day Adventist Welfare Service and World Service, didn't actually explain what the church was doing. So the name was changed to ADRA, which is Development and Relief.
Relief, of course, you're hungry and I feed you. But the problem is you're hungry again tomorrow. Because we all know what happens, that meal we eat today, it only lasts so long. But under development, if I can teach you how to grow a better garden and how to take care of that garden, you're going to eat for the whole season.
Poverty is the #1 disease in the world, and ADRA works to overcome and alleviate poverty.
ADRA has always been known in the church and in the community as a reliable agency which delivers the maximum amount of aid to people who are in need. I believe that ADRA gives Seventh-day Adventist Christians an opportunity to be the hands and feet of Jesus. It is not just another program of the church, but it is a physical expression of the gospel of Jesus in reaching out to people who are hurting, who are broken, and who have great need.
I believe that ADRA is successful, most of all, because God has been in charge. He opened the doors, He wants it, it's part of the work that Jesus did when He was on earth, and He has always led.
I think it's fantastic when you look back over history at the very humble beginnings of ADRA Canada and realize that this is the 20th anniversary.
One of the exciting things to observe about ADRA Canada in its last 20 years has been the tremendous level of support that it has had from its constituency.
Our strong, supportive donors has been a very crucial part of it. And then we have a very committed and dedicated staff that has made things happen. Not only that, but the assistance from our government has been another thing. The Canadian International Development Agency, they have helped in doing some of our projects internationally, and for that we've been very appreciative. I think things have really strengthened over the last 20 years that we've been working.
People that work with ADRA, the people that work for ADRA, the people that support ADRA. Without all of those people, there would be no success.
I believe one of the reasons that ADRA has succeeded is that there has been integrity built into the program. There is integrity and accountability. Secondly, I believe that there is a genuine heart call. When we see other people hurting, we want to assist. And I believe ADRA, because it has been faithful to its mission, has struck a chord in the hearts of people who want to help in those kinds of times. The greatest debt of gratitude that we have, the greatest asset that ADRA has, is its faithful donors.